Well, Joe Biden has officially resigned and stepped down from the 2024 presidential race, just as I predicted over a year ago, or when he announced his candidacy to run again in 2024. Interesting how the mainstream media has been all out lying to you, calling me and my channel and other channels like mine fake news, when exactly what we said would happen happened. And yet here we are. And it seems that Kamala Harris could potentially be their official nominee, but that's still on the table as of right now. I know that she's been endorsed by the Clintons, even by Newsom, oddly enough, and even Joe Biden himself, supposedly. But what I want to do in today's broadcast is really dive in to, I guess, the hidden message that was left in his little note that he gave as to why he is stepping down. And of course, there is problems, according to the internet. People are seeing problems with the signature on that letter versus his signature when compared to executive orders. I've got a lot to share with you today, but I want to start first with Joe Biden's letter that he published just Sunday, July 21st, where he gave his rundown on why he is stepping down to my fellow Americans. And it gets into all this blah, blah, blah stuff. So I'm going to go down to the third paragraph. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president. And while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to step down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. I will speak to the nation later this week, oddly enough, in more detail about my decision. I express my gratitude for all the hard work, and then he concludes with, we just have to remember we are United States of America. Yeah, no duh. And then notice his signature down there, but I'll get back into that in a moment. But here's the thing. When he posted that, right? He posted that at about 10:46 a.m. on July 21st, and there was no mention of Kamala at all. Then literally like 30 minutes later, it's almost as if they forgot about Kamala. You get this tweet from them, right? My fellow Democrats, I have decided not to accept the nomination and to focus all my energies on my duties as president for the remainder of the term. My first decision as the party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my VP, and it's the best decision I made. And today I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee of our party this year for Democrats. And you can see that was posted at 11:13, just about a half hour prior to that. Now, before I get into some of those details, just a quick break from my sponsor. Well, have you ever wondered what happened to the legendary Chuck Norris? Well, I saw a video of him the other day and I was completely shocked. I mean, the man is literally in his 80s. He is working out, kicking butt, and more active than ever. In fact, what stood out to me is that he seemed stronger than he's ever been. He works out longer and he had lots and lots of energy. And I thought to myself, I want to be like him when I'm his age. So what the heck is he doing that is changing his lifestyle, right? So he claims that he did this by making one change in his life. And I want to encourage you guys to check out that change. And in order to check it out, all you have to do is go to chuckdefense.com/haven to find out what that change is. And I have to tell you, I found out what that change was, and it made a huge difference in my life. And I honestly believe that it will make a huge difference in your life. This is why I've sponsored with them. But you can check it out at chuckdefense.com/haven. And if you want more information, you can click the link in the description box below to watch the video, or if you're on the cell phone, click that more button. But trust me, you're going to want to check this out. Go to chuckdefense.com/haven. All right, back to the broadcast. So let's dive in to some of the details on that. For starters, I do find it odd that they published the letter. There was no leak to the mainstream media. There was nobody saying this was fully going to happen or not going to happen. It was more hearsay. But what's weird is a lot of people within the Biden administration were constantly saying he's not stepping down. We're still getting things ready. Everything's good to go. And then out of nowhere, bam, we get this letter from Joe Biden. And then 30 minutes later, he endorses Kamala Harris. Now, usually when somebody steps forward like that to announce a resignation, it's not done on some Twitter social media platform. One has to really ask the question, why the hell didn't he get out publicly and do this? And it's a question that a lot of people are asking, right? Why did he not show up? Now take a listen to this Fox News clip regarding just that.
But I want to go back to your previous statement, Dana, about not seeing President Biden today. I think as you think about what has transpired today since 1:45 p.m., not physically seeing him even address a camera in Delaware, let alone an Oval Office statement like LBJ did when he dropped out in March of 1968, it is disconcerting, isn't it?
Brett, they didn't even release a White House still photograph. Nothing. So I hope he's fine. But you could forgive people for wondering if we are really living Weekend at Bernie's right now. Like, proof of life, please. Let's see it, okay? We want the president to be okay. I do want him to be able to leave on a note that is high in his mind, right? So
you have Fox News out asking a simple question. How come they didn't show his picture? Now, I don't believe Joe Biden is dead, obviously. He's still around. However, is he sick? Are they going to play the long COVID card like I predicted they might? And I predicted that he would step down Sunday too, by the way. I said by the end of this week. But anyway, it's just interesting. It's almost as if they're using this extra time from Sunday when they made the announcement on July 21st till Sunday mid of the week to convince him that he needs to step down. You know, it's almost as if, well, let me just say it really, really reeks of a coup. And here's another reason why it kind of reeks like that could be it. Not saying it is. I'm just throwing it out there, right? But here we have this, and this is on Politico. Blindsided. Biden team was whipping delegates when he dropped out. President Joe Biden's state campaign aides were telephoning delegates ahead of the next month's Democrat convention at the very moment he announced his withdrawal from the race Sunday afternoon. It was a nationwide push to shore up delegates for the roll call, said Biden state officials who fellow staffers were conducting the outreach. It goes on to state this, that in another sign of how the president's decision stunned even his own staff, his Delaware-based campaign leadership concluded a staff call with aides just minutes before Biden released his letter withdrawing from the race. I don't think a soul in Delaware knew about it, said the officials, alluding to Biden's staff. So Biden's staff had no idea of this? None whatsoever? Really? Seems kind of odd, because normally they are the ones that would put this together. We all know Joe Biden isn't writing his own stuff, right? We all know that he's just not there to do that. Who put this together and who wrote it? Now, what's interesting is here's Jill Biden. She still has this up on her page. Let's finish the job. And then she didn't make a statement or anything as of the making of this video, right? And where she just retweets what her husband said. And that's it. But I would at least recommend to Jill Biden, you should probably change the back of that, right? But in any aspect, it's just strange. All these details together. And then when you take in his signature into account, it all, kind of puts the puzzle pieces together. And I want to show you this. And this is on the Gateway Pundit. And they question who wrote it. Internet buzzes as Biden's signature on dropout letter doesn't match signature on executive order. Now, the one that's closest to me on your far left, and I'm going to blow this image up, this is the one that you normally see on executive orders. The one on the right is the one that he signed the letter with. And just so you can see the letter, this is the letter here. Obviously, the very same signature. Just want you to see it, right? And then here's another comparison. Let's go to this one first. And this one's all the different executive orders he's signed just in the past few months. And all the signatures are different than the one he left on the letter. Now, the biggest difference on the one that he left on the letter is that it was underlined. And none of the Biden signatures before have ever been underlined. The other thing is the B there and the R. You can see the R is kind of similar. But there has been some cases in which he's done that B a little bit like that. You can see this one. But none in which I show the R kind of done the way that was done on that particular letter. But these are all Joe Biden signatures from the past. And some he includes Junior on it and all of that. But definitely very questionable when you look at it, because that underline really throws me for a loop, right? It kind of does. And then Maureen Callahan had this to say about the letter itself. There's a hidden, this is on Daily Mail, there's a hidden message in Biden's humiliating withdrawal letter that should terrify every American. And the shaming question, who on earth is running the country? And that's true. Maureen went on to detail how Joe Biden literally ghosted us, just declaring that he's out by putting a social media. Very not normal for people to do. Not normal. Everybody will agree with that. But it goes on to state this. So suddenly did this Sunday afternoon announcement land that one wonders if it was released before Biden could change his mind, before Hunter could fly back from his Malibu mace, before Barack Obama would be forced to give the fatal shove. Announcements of this magnitude are typically presaged with an alert to the media. This one wasn't. Early reports are that Biden's top campaign staff didn't know about the letter, with a handful told just 1 minute before someone pushed publish. It all raises more questions, such as who wrote it? When was it drafted? Was it his decision alone, or was it coerced? Why didn't Biden, like LBJ before him, announce his monumental decision to stand down during a prime televised address from the Oval? Is he that far gone, unable to read prepared marks from a teleprompter? Who is running the country? That is truly, truly the only question that matters. And it really is. And it is a question. It's a mystery because, hey, we also know Joe Biden is sick right now. He hasn't been showing up. And yet they're going to make this announcement on social media and not publicly. Who pushed the button? Who pushed the button? Now, who was with him during that time? Well, according to this report, also found on Daily Mail, what finally persuaded Biden to step aside inside the last-minute decision that completely blindsided the White House staff? Well, Jill Biden was by his side. Jill Biden, according to reports, was by her husband's side when he eventually made the historic call, giving into mounting pressure. But it says call. But a spokesperson for the First Lady said it was the president's judgment alone. Down to the last hour of the decision only he could make. She, Jill Biden, was supportive of whatever he chose. Well, whatever. There you have it. So, interesting. Is there, obviously, the Democrats' soft coup against Joe Biden prevailed, and now it's up in the air who his running candidate. It's going to be word salad Kamala? That seems to be the direction that they're heading in, and who knows who her VP is going to be. But it reeks. It reeks of coercion in my case, but who knows? Either way, I think they were desperate. The Democrats aren't even nice to their own. But anyhow, wanted to get that to you guys. I love you all. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.